Hello and welcome to So You Want to Start a Business, the podcast where we interview business owners, entrepreneurs and other smart guests so we can learn their tips, tactics and strategies. I'm your host Ingrid Thompson and it is my absolute pleasure to bring you this podcast. Today is another in the series of me talking about a business and the founder. I'm keen one day for Kate Morris of Adore Beauty to be a guest on our show. Meanwhile, here is her story. It's 1999. How would you feel if you opened a parcel that you had ordered online and here inside was the product, beautifully wrapped in tissue with a bow from a ribbon, and also a treat, a chocolate, caramel koala included in the box? My bet is you would feel pretty special and you'd be a bit excited, right? And you probably would tell your friends. It's 1999. There's no Facebook, no Instagram. You're actually going out and telling your friends. That's how Adore Beauty's owner and founder Kate Morris gave her online business an early edge. She launched her company in 1999 at the age of 21. 99 was really the very early days of the internet, and this was the first attempt to sell cosmetics online in Australia. At the time, online retail was regarded as the turf of the discount goods, certainly not prestigious cosmetic brands. While she was at university, Kate had been working part-time behind the Clarins counter in a department store, and she saw that the experience of buying beauty products in department stores could often be intimidating for women who may be fearful of buying the wrong products and who also felt the pressure of the upsell. Kate could see that they would feel more empowered and it would be a more empowering experience for them to make decisions about cosmetic options from the comfort of their own home. Turns out she was right. In the early days, cosmetic houses did not want a bar of the online world. The cosmetic brands liked the control they had through the department store channel because that is what they knew and it's what had worked in the past. They needed to be shown how it could also control and deliver a fantastic customer experience online as well, and Kate was about doing just that. She says that raising funds for the launch was almost impossible. It was impossible. There was no kind of angel investor scene in Melbourne in 1999, and certainly not if you were a 21-year-old. Kate did her research. She was armed with a fantastic business plan. She tried a couple of the banks, and the response was a big fat no. She ended up being able to borrow $12,000 from her father, of her then boyfriend, to get started. That man, who is now Kate's father-in-law, obviously saw the potential. And so Adore Beauty began. The website was built by a company that Kate found in a newspaper advertisement, because that's how you found people in those days, and the project cost her about $8,000 and it took 6 months. Kate was surprised how difficult it was to get stock. She phoned all the brands and had so many doors slammed in her face. In the end, she found 2 teeny-weeny tiny brands that were desperate enough for the money to take her cash. Kate launched the Adore Beauty website and went to the extremes to make the customers really enjoy the experience. She wrapped each product in tissue, she had ribbons and made bows, and then she dropped a chocolate into the box. Her theory was that if she made the customers feel excited, they would have to tell someone, and it worked. In the early days, Kate had no money to put into marketing her fledgling website, but there was a small email commerce magazine that was happy to write about her new business. And of course, there was word of mouth from the happy customers. After 2 years, Kate started paying herself. It was a pretty skint 2 years, she says. It was 4 years when she rented her first premises. It was 5 years when she hired her first employee. And 6 years later, Clarins came on board. Kate said it was persistence, constantly demonstrating that she was doing in terms of creating an experience for the consumer and always about building trust. Estee Lauder finally gave their okay in 2014, and now Adore Beauty has over 195 global brands. Today, Adore Beauty is based in Melbourne, and the turnover is about $25 million a year. It employs 35 people. A major milestone was the purchase of 25% of the company by Woolworths in 2015, and this boosted Adore's sales by 70% thanks to the greater ability to spend on inventory and new hires. She says it made a massive difference being able to pick the brains of Dan Murphy's or Big W, and people whose experience online is different to ours is always really useful. Less than 2 years later, early in 2017, Kate arranged to buy back the 25% from Woolworths, saying that the vision no longer aligned with the supermarket giant, and the share buyback allowed the online beauty company to prepare for growth and further expansion overseas. Adore Beauty has started selling in China. Kate's story is inspiring. She identified a real need for her customers based on her experience with them behind the beauty counter. She listened and she was really aware of their needs. Kate never gave up, even when many doors were closed and people were saying no. She is a remarkable woman and has received many awards and accolades, including Telstra Young Businesswoman of the Year for Victoria in 2010 and the Business Innovation Award for Victoria at the Telstra Business Women's Awards in 2014. Kate was inducted into the Australian Business Women's Network Hall of Fame in 2015. Remarkable. What a remarkable woman and a terrific story. What are our takeaway from Kate Morris and the Adore Beauty story? Persistence, keeping going when people say no, believing in herself and her idea and her business, having really understood her customers' fears and the discomfort of shopping in store, and being able to see that the internet shopping was going to grow. What lessons did you hear? As you create, start and grow your business, what actions can you take from this podcast? Thanks for listening. And if you're thinking about starting your own business, I've written a book called So You Want to Start a Business. And you can grab a generous excerpt over at www.soyouwanttostartabusiness.com.au. As always, you can find a full transcript of the podcast over on my website, healthynumbers.com.au, with links and show notes. Remember, ideas without action. Well, they're just that, ideas. What action are you inspired to take today? Thanks for listening.